Hello and welcome to Nice and Blunt. It's Tuesday, so it's time to take a look at the Week 9 schedule and make my win-loss predictions. Let's go. But before I get into it, just some bookkeeping real quick. Last week was not good for me. I had a losing record, my first of the entire season last week, at 7 wins and 8 losses in those predictions. Some of them were close calls, and I don't blame myself, but a couple of them I knew I was making a risky pick when I made it, and it backfired. So this week I definitely want to get back up above 500, and overall my record is still pretty decent, 76 and 46 so far this year, and that win percentage is 62.3. So it ticked down this week, but I'm trying to bring that back up this week. And without further ado, let's go. All right, so in week 9, there's 4 teams on bye: the Detroit Lions, the Seattle Seahawks, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Washington football team. So only 14 games this week, and I'm shooting for 10 wins and 4 losses to feel like I made some good picks. All right, so Thursday night, the New York Jets at the Indianapolis Colts. And given the fact that they won last week, I don't think they're going to be as overlooked by the very desperate Colts. And I think they're definitely going to be more prepared and not let this slip through their fingers the way that the Bengals did. So give me the Colts over the Jets. I feel like it's a pretty easy, rather confident pick. And then on Sunday morning, a division matchup, I'm definitely going to watch the Cleveland Browns at the Cincinnati Bengals, Baker Mayfield versus Joe Burrow. And the last time we saw this last season, it was quite a shootout on Thursday night. So I think this is going to be a good game. And the Browns have a better roster. However, the Cincinnati Bengals have a better record this year, and they're definitely going to put up a fight. I feel like part of the loss last week to the Jets was them looking ahead to this game. It's definitely very important. However, I just don't fully believe in this Browns offense. The Browns are just a little bit limited at the moment, and the fact that this is a home game for the Bengals makes me definitely prefer them. So I'm going to take Joe Burrow and the Bengals to beat the Cleveland Browns. And then Denver at Dallas. Dallas, it doesn't really seem like it matters who the quarterback is. They're firing on all cylinders, and they're also going to get Michael Gallup back this week. So I like their odds quite a bit. I think Dak Prescott will return, but that's not a guarantee. So even if it's Cooper Rush, I think they're going to have a decent game and beat the Denver Broncos at home. So give me Dallas to remain at the top of the conference. They're going to have a great playoff seed when it comes down to it. They may even get the bye. But Houston at Miami is a little bit more competitive than the Houston Texans are normally accustomed to playing. However, the Texans are definitely tanking, so I don't think they're going to start Tyrod Taylor, even if he is kind of ready to go. I think they want to lose and just secure a draft pick, get out of this quarterback situation with Deshaun Watson through the draft, and trade him for whatever they can get. So I like Tua and Miami to have a bounce-back game. I don't think that they're going to be held in check. And I think Myles Gaskin is also going to have a good game because Houston's defense has returned to its terrible status. I think Gaskin is going to lead the Dolphins to a W. And then the Falcons are going to take on the Saints in New Orleans. And the quarterback situation is worth monitoring for the Saints. I think Taysom Hill will suit up, but that's not a guarantee. And even if Trevor Siemian does play, I think that Sean Payton and the Saints have an edge. Their defense is definitely better, and they know how to limit the division rival Falcons. So I think they're going to give Matt Ryan a tough time. Kyle Pitts was limited last week, and Calvin Ridley didn't play once again. So I think they'll be all right, but I still think the Saints are a better team in the division. So give me the Saints at home in this game. So far, nothing but home picks. And then Las Vegas is going on the road at New York. And I think obviously Bryan Edwards needs to step up a little bit. Same goes for Hunter Renfrow and Darren Waller, given the news with Henry Ruggs. That's a pretty terrible situation. However, with the new injury to Sterling Shepard, I don't think that there's just enough healthy players in New York for them to overcome these injuries. So I think that Las Vegas has found a groove now that they've gotten rid of John Gruden, and I think Derek Carr is far more trustworthy than pretty much anyone on the New York roster at the moment. So even with an interim coach, I trust the Raiders on the road, coming off a bye to beat the Giants. And then the New England Patriots are going on the road to face Carolina, and this may be a revenge game for Stephon Gilmore. I have a feeling this is going to be a very heavy defensive game. I don't think many points are going to be put up on the board. As we know, Bill Belichick knows how to force Sam Darnold to see ghosts sometimes. So I am quite worried about the Carolina offense, but it is week 9, and that is the first eligible week for Christian McCaffrey to return. So that's the only contingency I'm going to make. But I don't like to rely on contingencies, so I'm just going to pick it straight out, and I'm going to take the New England Patriots, who are on a bit of a roll with 2 straight wins, not only against the Jets, but my Chargers. I was definitely wrong about that one. And even though I think they'll be limited by Carolina's defense, I just do not trust Sam Darnold enough at the moment to pick the Panthers. So give me the Patriots on the road as well. And then the Buffalo Bills are going on the road to face Jacksonville, and this is definitely an easy pick. Give me Buffalo by a mile. There is no way the Jaguars are going to win this game, even if Buffalo falls as flat as they did in the first half against Miami. So the Bills with a shit ton of confidence, no matter what the line is, take the Bills. And then Minnesota at Baltimore. And surprisingly, Justin Jefferson was held in check last week, and he may have a difficult matchup on his hands going up against Marlon Humphrey and the Baltimore Ravens coming off a bye. So that is a little bit concerning. The Ravens defense has also been good against running backs this year. So I am worried about this Kirk Cousins-led offense. I don't really think there's enough playmakers. And Kirk Cousins is rather hit or miss. So the health of Dalvin Cook really holds this team back. And even though he's playing, I just don't think he's going to be 100% at any point this year. So I will take the Ravens coming off a bye at home. I think all of the factors lean in favor of Lamar Jackson. But then the Chargers go on the road to face Philadelphia, and last week I was wrong about both of these teams. I picked the Chargers to beat the Patriots, and they lost, and I also picked Philly to lose against the Lions. I had a gut call, and I was dead wrong about that, but that's a little bit less surprising. However, the Chargers are not as bad as the Lions, so I don't think that Philly is going to have an easy time this week, even though they are at home, and the Chargers have to travel across the country to play this game. They do better on the road. So I'm expecting a bounce-back game for Mike Williams. Even though the Philadelphia secondary is pretty legit, I think that Justin Herbert is going to get it done. They're going to have a very difficult time stopping Austin Eckler. And at the end of the day, Boston Scott, Kenny Gainwell, and Jordan Howard may get a lot of touches once again. However, I still trust my Chargers. So give me the Bolts over Jalen Hurts and the Eagles on Sunday afternoon. And then Green Bay is going up against Kansas City, and the Chiefs are reeling at the moment. Only put up 20 against the Giants. That's not going to cut it against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Devontae Adams should be back. We expect him to return off the COVID list. And Kansas City just can't catch a break. So even though they're back at 500, once again, I don't think it's going to last, and I think they're going to go 4-5 and lose this game to the Green Bay Packers, who looked amazing despite not having 11 starters last week against Arizona. I like the Green Bay Packers. I think they're playing lights out. Ever since that first loss in week 1, they have been great, and they're not turning the ball over at all. And then the last game of the afternoon, Arizona at San Francisco, and this is going to be a tough division game, but I think I trust Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, but there is some question marks regarding the health of not only DeAndre Hopkins, but also Kyler Murray. Now, look, DeAndre Hopkins has pretty much never missed a game in his career, so I think he will play. I don't think that that's something you should worry about. But Kyler Murray limped off the field at the end of that game, and last year, his fantasy points took a big dip after that shoulder injury that didn't take him out off the field, but it did limit his playing ability. He was definitely not 100% through the rest of the year. Last year, that may have been the reason why the Cardinals missed the playoffs, but I don't think it's going to keep them out this year because they got off to such a hot start. And I think this week they will be able to beat the San Francisco 49ers, because really the only player that scares you for the 49ers is Deebo Samuel. Elijah Mitchell's pretty good, but it's kind of just that run scheme in general. And I think the fact that this is a division matchup, the Cardinals know how important this is, and they know how to play and limit the 49ers. Sometimes these games are really low scoring within the NFC West division. So I don't trust Jimmy Garoppolo to get it done, and if Trey Lance is the starter, I don't think he's going to have much success as well. So even though I'm expecting George Kittle to return, I am picking the Cardinals on the road to get back on track after their first loss of the season. And then on Sunday night, the Tennessee Titans go on the road to face the LA Rams, and they're going to be without Derrick Henry. They signed Adrian Peterson to replace him, and even though AP is a good Derrick Henry comp, he's obviously not at the peak of his career. So you're getting a player that just came out of retirement, And even though I think he will be a very good fantasy player, a top 15 option, a reliable start every week, I just don't think it's going to be enough against the Rams. And I think Matthew Stafford is just going to eat up this secondary. They've been playing really atrocious, and I just don't think Ryan Tannehill and A.J. Brown are going to be able to keep up without Derrick Henry drawing so much attention away from them. So I like the Rams with confidence. I don't think the Titans are going to have a good game at all. And then on Monday night, a game I'm not really excited to watch, the Chicago Bears at the Pittsburgh Steelers. And if it wasn't for the Pittsburgh offense just being so unreliable, then I would probably be more interested. But I feel like Chicago is just going to struggle so much. They're barely going to put 10 on the board likely. Justin Fields is going to have such a rough time against TJ Watt and the Mike Tomlin-led defense. So I definitely like Pittsburgh in this game, but they're not going to have to score more than 20 to win. I think this is going to be a very boring game, to be honest with you, because I think the Chicago Bears defense is also going to show up in the first half in prime time and give Ben Roethlisberger a hard time, but they're just going to edge it out. Najee Harris is probably going to be my favorite player to start in this matchup. I have very little confidence in the Bears offense against a tough defense. Not excited. So give me the Steelers at home, and then let's recap. I'm taking the Colts at home over the Jets. I'm taking the Bengals at home over the Browns. I'm taking the Cowboys at home over the Broncos. I like the Dolphins at home over the Texans. Give me the Saints at home over the Falcons. Give me the Raiders on the road over the Giants. The Patriots on the road over the Panthers, the Bills on the road over the Jaguars, and then the Ravens at home over the Vikings, the Chargers on the road over the Eagles, the Packers on the road over Kansas City, over the Chiefs, and then the Cardinals will win on the road over the 49ers, the Rams will win at home over the Titans, and the Pittsburgh Steelers will win at home over the Bears on Monday night. So that's going to wrap up these win-loss predictions for Week 9. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content. Tomorrow's Wednesday, and it's all about running backs, so I'll give you my rankings video early in the afternoon, and then I'll try and get out the top 5 must-start running backs as early as I can. My name is Adam Riancho, and thank you for watching Nice and Blunt.